for dessert tonight, I'm going to be making the 35-second chocolate cake for one. And this is perfect for us because we can just make one cake and not a whole cake and eat it. But this is something that is weight loss surgery friendly, diet friendly, and very portion controlled. I got this recipe from bariatriceating.com, so it's not my recipe, but I wanted to try it out and share it with you guys. So here are the ingredients. First, you have, let's see, 2 tablespoons of milk, fat-free milk, or you can use any kind of milk that you use, but I have this, so I'm going to use that. Then you need, that is salt. You just need a pinch of salt. And then the cocoa powder, this is, I got this and I showed it in my grocery bag video. This is the Ghirardelli unsweetened cocoa powder. You need 2 teaspoons of that. Then you'll need a pinch of instant coffee crystals. And I have these little sticks, so I'm just going to use a pinch out of this. I'm making 2, one for me and one for Joe. So I'm just going to use this little pack. And then you'll need some baking powder. And with the baking powder, you're going to need 1/4 of a teaspoon of that. And I'm just going to measure my stuff with this regular teaspoon because I don't have any measuring spoons. Okay, there you have vanilla extract, and you just need a drop of that. This is very simple, it seems. I haven't made it before, so we'll see. Then you need 2 tablespoons of flour. I'm using all-purpose flour this time. Next time I'd like to have some whole wheat flour to use. Okay, the next thing you need is, it calls for 1½ teaspoons of Splenda. But I'm going to use the Purevia, or if I had the Purevia in here, I would use that. But I'm going to use probably 2 packets for each one, maybe a little more. It just depends on how sweet it is. And this doesn't have egg in it, so I can taste it. And then next you're going to have olive oil. And I'm just using this extra virgin olive oil. And you need 1 teaspoon of that. And then for my icing, I guess you could call it, I'm going to use this. The Real Dairy Light Whipped Cream is sweetened with cane sugar, but like I said in the grocery bag, it's only 1 gram of sugar for 2 tablespoons, which is quite a lot. So that's 15 calories for 2 tablespoons of that. And this is the 365 brand. Now, the nutrition stats is 110 calories for one of these, 2 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat, 14 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 0 sugar, and 0 milligrams of sodium. Now, that is not including anything you put on top, so I have to add 15 calories for this and 1 gram of sugar. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, first you're going to spray your coffee cup or your ramekin with the cooking spray, whatever kind you have. I have the olive oil extra virgin cooking spray, but you use whatever you have, or you can kind of dust it with some olive oil. Alright, you're going to take 2 tablespoons of flour and just put it in your bowl. I forgot to spray this bowl, that's why I'm transferring it. Okay, there you go. Alright, next you're going to need your 2 tablespoons of milk. And I'm just measuring it with this. So if you have a measuring spoon, just use that. It's much easier. Okay, with the olive oil, you're going to need, what? Oh, 1 teaspoon. So I'm just going to do like, let's see. Let me get a teaspoon. That would be much easier. Okay, you need 1 teaspoon of that. Okay, that is your olive oil. Now, next you're going to do, it calls for a teaspoon and a half of Splenda. Well, I'm using the Purevia. So I'm going to use actually 3 packets of this. Alright. And if you want to use a different sweetener, just do it equal to a teaspoon and a half of, you know, like the Splenda would be. Of course, Splenda's a little more sweet, but, you know. Okay, you put a pinch of coffee, instant coffee crystals in there, and that's going to be my pinch. A pinch of salt, and I'm just going to shake a little bit. Now you need a drop of vanilla, which is hard. There we go. Alright, and with your cocoa powder, you're going to need 2 teaspoons of this. There we go, that's 1. And 2. Okay, so that is 2 tablespoons of flour, 1½ teaspoons of your sweetener, 2 teaspoons of cocoa powder, 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, which I have not put in. So I'm calling that 1/4 of a teaspoon. So I'm going to throw that in. And then you'll also need a pinch of instant coffee crystals, a pinch of salt, 2 tablespoons of milk or whatever milk substitute you want, 1 teaspoon of olive oil, and a drop of vanilla. Okay, I'm going to mix all this together. Now I've made one for Joe just a few minutes ago and it needed a little more milk, but I'm going to mix this and see how it goes. Yeah, I'm going to add just a tiny bit more milk, just to loosen it up a little bit. Okay, maybe that's another teaspoon of milk, I'd say. So it will add a little bit more calories if you do add something. Okay, let me get this mixed in really well. And I tasted the batter. It does taste good. Alright, see, that looks like cake batter, look, or brownie batter. Just get that good and incorporated. And you can taste it because it doesn't have eggs in it. Alright, I'm going to scrape off the spoon. Okay, you put this in the microwave for 35 seconds. And don't overcook it because it will become rubbery. But put this in the microwave for 35 seconds and then 5 seconds each interval if it doesn't look done. But if it's kind of spongy, it'll continue to cook. It'll be kind of wet on the bottom, but it will continue to have a carryover cooking. So just don't dry it out. So I'm going to put this in the microwave for 35 seconds and I'll be back. Okay, this is what it looks like. Look how it's spongy, just like cake. Kind of like the muffin in a minute I showed you, but look at that, cake. And it's still a little bit wet, but you don't want to like, oh, hello, dry it out. I'm going to put some of this on the top for the icing. I say that's about a tablespoon. There we go. That's about 2, I guess. Okay, so this is the 35-second cake. It ended up taking me about 40 seconds, but your microwave may be stronger, and you can kind of spread this out to where it looks like icing, but doesn't that look delicious? Now let me give it a taste. Look, cake. Mmm. That is so good. Give this a try. I think you'll like it. And let me know what you think, and I'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.